Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening everyone. Rescue teams are remaining optimistic tonight despite finding no sign of a couple missing in their plane over Bass Strait. The desperate search to find them has surpassed the 48-hour mark. The mission battered by wild weather.
A flight shrouded in mystery. A northern Tasmanian couple took off from Georgetown on Saturday, still missing more than 50 hours later.
We are hoping for a positive outcome, yet sadly there's been no sight of the aircraft or the occupants that we're searching for.
A man in his 70s, a woman in her 60s, and their dog bound for Hillston Airport in central New South Wales. The green, single-engine light aircraft last seen leaving Georgetown Airport on Saturday afternoon. Interstate family members raising the alarm that evening when the pair didn't arrive.
At this stage, we're not aware of any communication that the pilot made after leaving Georgetown Airport.
Today's search including 4 police vessels, the Tamar Marine Rescue Boat, 2 fixed-wing aircraft, a police helicopter and the AMSA Challenger jet. Rough weather proving a challenge for teams on the water and in the air.
But our staff are trained in relation to conducting these searches, and they're conducting these searches as thoroughly as they possibly can.
It's not the first time a light plane has disappeared while making the crossing over Bass Strait. In 1934, airliner Miss Hobart vanished with 12 people on board. And in 1978, pilot Frederick Valentich disappeared during a training flight. The wreckages were never found. Police are remaining optimistic, despite a lack of evidence.
If you see this couple out on the water, if it's safe, please interact, go to their rescue, but don't put yourself at any more danger, and clearly contact authorities as soon as possible.
Aaron Smith, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian man has been arrested in Bali accused of a violent carjacking and arson. A Balinese man told police he was forced out of his car early in the morning. The suspect allegedly then took off and ran down 2 pedestrians before the car was found torched behind a home kilometres away. A man reportedly from Hobart was later arrested. He's now in custody in North Kuta. Tasmania's next government is being urged to make tough decisions to fix the state's worsening finances. With the makeup of the next parliament locked in, experts say the pathway to power for either of the major parties won't come easy.
As the dust settles on the snap election results, there's a renewed push for the next government to clean up the state's precarious finances.
Neither side of politics really has a mandate for the sort of things that the Treasury spelt out needed to be done.
With debt spiralling, top economist Saul Leslake says neither the Liberals or Labor went far enough over the campaign to fix it.
Whoever forms the next government needs to do is to be honest with the people about the financial situation that Tasmania now finds itself in.
Long-serving independent Ruth Forrest says the budget figures were so bleak she considered voting against it.
To see no corrective action in that and almost a complete denial that there was a problem, I felt in all good conscience I was really struggling to support such a document.
The Liberals say they're ready to deliver a new budget and will consult stakeholders to resolve its structural challenges. But Labor leader Dean Winter says their opponents can't be trusted with the balance sheets, standing by his party's budget repair plans, as both continue talks with crossbenchers to firm up a pathway to power.
What I'd like to see is if we make a deal, they stick to it and there's no backflip.
The Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party securing their first ever seat in Parliament, but Carlo De Falco isn't revealing his hand just yet.
At this point in time, we've still got leverage.
Jeremy Rockcliffe insists he can still govern with 14 seats if necessary.
It's one thing to say I can govern with 14 seats. It's another question, will the Parliament let you do it?
Though election analyst Kevin Bonham believes the road ahead won't be easy for Labor either.
Arguing that you should form a government when your vote went backwards, you got a historically bad vote, is a tough sell.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
The Spirit of Tasmania 4 vessel is on the home stretch, having left Mauritius and heading to Fremantle. It will undergo immigration protocols in Perth before setting sail for Tasmania. The new vessel has been travelling for the past 5 weeks from Scotland, stopping in Gibraltar, Cape Verde and Cape Town. It's expected to arrive in Hobart later this month. A Launceston man is eyeing an early retirement after pocketing $1.4 million in Saturday's Tats Lotto draw. He discovered the windfall by checking his numbers during half-time in the footy, turning his weekend on its head. He was one of 7 Division 1 winning entries from Saturday's draw and the third big lotto win for a Tasmanian in the past month. As more people come from overseas call Tasmania home, the state's Multicultural Council wants to see their needs represented more strongly in Parliament. The organisation is calling on the next government to create a Minister for Multicultural Affairs, which it says will help address challenges facing the migrant community.
I think it's an important recognition for people that have come to Tasmania to set up, their lives.
The council says Tasmania is the only state without a dedicated Multicultural Affairs Minister. A wedge-tailed eagle, which had been shot with an arrow, has been safely captured in Kettering. Raptor Refuge has been searching for the bird since it was first spotted with the arrow lodged in its leg in Margate last month. The refuge says the weapon had fallen out by the time it reached the eagle and it's now receiving care. Also thanking supporters who reported sightings. Community services are ramping up efforts to address the state's worsening housing crisis this Homelessness Week. It's a frontline workers warn for the without a safe place to call home. The challenges don't disappear when the Awareness Week ends.
Homelessness is no longer a hidden issue, and those on the front line say the crisis is worsening by the day.
This is not a far-removed problem.
In Tasmania, more than 1,300 people are experiencing homelessness. That's 1 in every 86 relying on support services, especially as winter bites. But behind those numbers are real people and real stories. An exhibit on Hobart's waterfront giving a voice to those often unseen and unheard.
The stories that are told here have a real opportunity for personal connection.
The message is simple. Homelessness isn't someone else's issue, it's ours. And it's why frontline organisations are stepping up. Next month, the Salvation Army will host a community sleep out the front of the Grand Chancellor in Hobart, aiming to raise $135,000 for its Street to Home program.
They provide them with what they need, so tent, sleeping bag, anything else they require, but then look to connect them with services that are able to help them move on from living on the street.
This week's theme is Homelessness Take Action, and one crucial way is to challenge the stereotypes.
We tend to think that homelessness comes about because of bad choices. We think it's a story of substance abuse, but it's not. It's a story of trauma.
A lot of the guys have had something bad happen in their lives, usually from DV, something earlier on in their childhood, mental health that's gone unchecked.
A harsh reality for some that doesn't end once the week is over.
Homelessness isn't something people chose, but it is something that we as a society can actually help fix.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmanian News.
A curious Labrador has given her owners quite the fright. 3-year-old Frankie took an unexpected tumble last night, falling 30 metres down a cliffside at Blackman's Bay. Miraculously, a patch of thick bushes broke her fall, with Tasmania Police and the SES quickly coming to her rescue.
She was a bit tentative at first. I think she'd obviously been having a bit of a rough time, but she warmed up to us and and eventually was very glad for us to be getting her out of there, I think.
Thankfully, Frankie was reunited with her worried owners, tail wagging and paws unharmed.
Big Bash hero Mitch Owen has a few days back home in Hobart to rest before jetting off with the Aussie cricket side again. But while he's ranking accolades around the world, his heart remains at the crease in Bellerive. Despite making his T20 international debut look easy with a half-century right out of the gate, the significance of pulling on the baggy green in the West Indies was weighing heavily on Mitch Owen.
Yeah, I definitely felt a lot more nervous than I have the last few months playing franchise cricket. I feel like a bit more weight on my back having the Australian badge on. But I feel super proud to be able to represent Australia.
After his performance on tour, national selectors want to see more of Owen, adding him to the one-day squad for the upcoming South African series across the top end. But he's humble about the meteoric rise that's made him one of the most talked about names in Aussie cricket.
I mean, T20 cricket can be fickle. You can get unlucky, you can hit one up the chute and get caught pretty early on. And the way I sort of bat, I'm happy to take those risks. And some days it comes off, some days it doesn't.
And while the passport's copped a beating lately as he's taken his heavy hitting to tournaments around the world, at the end of the day, there's no place like home.
I've said at most tournaments that I can't wait to get back and play for the Hurricanes. Yeah, the atmosphere out here built up through last year, and then obviously that final was amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens this year.
As for his secret to success,
I try and swing pretty hard and don't overcomplicate it too much.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? Well, Glenorchy has a small bit of breathing room on the SFL ladder, sitting 4 points clear of Kingborough in fourth after a tough win when the two sides faced off on Saturday. But hanging on to their top four perch won't be easy, with meetings against the top two teams in the final 3 rounds.
Bit of a bonus, you know, we're going to have to earn our stripes to be able to get there in the top 4, and no bigger task than this week.
A third place finish is doable for the Scottsdale women after knocking Deloraine off the top perch, if they can find consistency.
We've been a little bit hit and miss the last few games, but yeah, on the weekend we were able to string together a 4-quarter game, so if we keep that up, we should be able to go all right.
Devonport is still undefeated atop the NWFL ladder. And we've all been clinging on to hope Jack McVeigh would return to Tassie, but it won't be. The club releasing him from the final year of his contract today after spending last season in the US. It means he's free to sign with a rival NBL club or find a home in an American or European league. The Jackies are already in recruitment mode, still hunting a replacement for Sean McDonald, who tore his ACL playing with the Boomers last week. His place in the Australian squad has been filled by new Jack jumper Josh Bannon. Yeah, big shoes to fill there on both counts, Maney.
Yeah, it certainly is, Nick. Thanks for that. Well, Peter Murphy, the most experienced weatherman in the world, will join us after the break with the weather forecast.
Good evening. Hope you enjoyed your weekend, but of course it's normally forgotten this time of the day on a Monday, isn't it? Hobart got to 15 today though. Launceston, Strahan and the Bass Strait Islands our high with 17. Devonport 16 and Burnie a top of 14 degrees. Temperatures generally between 1 and 3 above average. The overnight low was -1 at Ouse. Today, Friendly Beaches reached 16, Smithton, St Helens and Grove all 15, Lowhead 14, Lyawini a high of 7. Onshore winds brought cloud to the north and east as a little high cloud streamed across as well. A few showers and all that over the western central highlands, 5 millimetres today after 15 millimetres to 9 a.m. at Lake Mackenzie. There's the bigger picture. Low cloud blew over the New South Wales coast. Frontal bands are moving across South Australia. A cooler pool of air tracking over WA. Tomorrow a cold front pushes our way, followed by another which is south of the Bight, high pressure zones up north. North to northwesterly winds for us at 20 to 30 knots, swells to 3 metres in western waters. That's brought about a gale warning. That's for waters from Low Rocky Point to Sandy Cape in the west. Strong wind warning for all remaining Tasmanian coastal waters. 15 with the chance of a shower in Hobart. A possible shower for Adventure Bay as well, and showers easing from Tarraleah, 11 the top there. 14 for Launceston, rain on the way. 14 also for Devonport. Bridport, the rain easing later. 14 the maximum ahead of that. 14 for Burnie as well. 13 the top for Strahan with wet weather. 14 and rain for Marrawar. St Helens a high of 15 degrees, showers easing later, same sort of thing for Swansea, but 16 the top and 15 for Whitemark. Showers for most of us on Wednesday as well, falling as snow above 900 metres, small hail over the southwest. A few showers on Thursday over the west, otherwise fine after patchy frost and fog. And on Friday, much the same with a 40% chance of a shower for Strahan. Showers easing from Perth tomorrow with a little wet weather for Adelaide and Melbourne. Sunny and 21 degrees in Sydney. Fine and sunny and warm for areas in the northern half of the country. Clear at the moment, 12 degrees in Hobart, 14 in Launceston and 13 right now in Devonport. And what a surprise, Michael, I have a message here from Andrew and Joe Palmer insisting we all vote for Lily Cornish and her contestant tonight in the Dancing with the Stars final. Well, I'll go one better. I'm going to put $1 on Schilling to win.
I think I can hear your phone ringing now. Might be Joe or Andrew, not really sure. Thanks for that, Mirth. Well, that's all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night.